your own conversation within the community. Should you have any
for making this YouTube Live possible. Our small business sponsors, It's a Wrap and Haru Heads. Our artist sponsors, Tanisha Clark, Brother Ali, Rosie Delma, and Kankara Music. Our spiritual supporters, Yeshua's Lightworkers, Moorish Americans, and Indigo 11 Tribe. Our spiritual teachers and mentors, Lucid Living TV, Infinite Waters, You Are Creators, and Understanding. And to the most important people for making this dream possible, you, our listeners. We are Goddess of the Nile Radio, and we do this for you. Hey guys, Grand Rising, Grand Rising, Grand Rising. It's your girl Azor Neturu Gaia live right here on WinDC Radio app and YouTube channel. I'm here to raise your vibrations. We have gone through so much during the week. We have lost legends. We have lost icons, but still we keep moving forward. We are the new legends. We are the new icons, right? So let's get these vibrations up and moving around and get your soul moving and a grooving in the name of you, in the name of your Father, in the name of your Holy Spirit, in the name of whatever you're into. Just raise those vibrations. There's no need to be afraid. You can get up and dance. Get up and dance anywhere you are. Dance, I said.
on me. Let the rain just fall on me. See when it pours, let it fall on me. Yeah, just let it fall on me. Yeah. I want it to rain on me. I need it to rain on me. You need to let it rain. You got to let it rain. Why don't you let that rain fall on you? Let that rain fall on you. Got it. You need it. You want it. You need it. Let it fall. Let it. You need to let it. Let it. You need to let it fall. Let it. You need to. You got to. You want it. You need it. You got to. Let it fall. Let me tell you that trouble don't last always. Trouble don't last always. You need to let it. You need to let it. Yeah. You got to let it. Woo. You need to let it. Yeah. Let it rain. You need to let it rain. Let it rain on you. Need to rain on you. Trouble don't last. Trouble don't last. Trouble don't last always. No. I said no. But you got to let the rain fall on you. Let the rain fall on you. Woo. When it rains, it pours, but it makes you feel better. Nah. So when it rains, it pours, but I tell you, it'll feel better. So much better. Rain on you. Let it rain on you. You need to rain on you. Let it rain on you. You need to rain on it. Just let it rain on you. You need to rain on it. Just let it rain on you. Rain. Woo.
You are now listening to God is Something Now Radio. You are now listening to God is Something Now Radio. You are now listening to God is Something Now Radio.
It is your birthright to accept and receive the goodness of the world, the tools to create your destiny, the love and nourishment from others, a life of abundance, days filled with propositions, manifested success coming from places that serve you, manifested success pouring into your life and the lives of others. You are guided and given the authority to receive the gifts of the universe, for these gifts have already been given to you long before your arrival here. Your faith in yourself makes it real and opens the doors for manifestation to rush in. Your consciousness is open to receive and to give. It is your birthright, and it is done now.
You are now listening to God is Something Now Radio.
Through this mantra of manifestation, all things are possible. We proclaim absolutely that all of us are living in a friendly universe that is always providing for us. We have felt it happening, and we are feeling it happening now. We are open to receive more abundance than we have ever experienced before. We can afford and do anything that our heart desires. We need never to worry again. We are filled with an attitude of gratitude for what we already have and all that we are giving and ready to give. We keep ourselves lifted in high consciousness no matter what the appearances are. The universe is always providing in our favor. We are creators of our today and our tomorrow. Reciting a mantra is an excellent way to start your day. Calm you down while you are upset and refocus your consciousness. For a copy of this mantra, please feel free to visit our Patreon account by searching for Goddess of the Nile Radio on patreon.com. It's your girl Azor Netarugaya, and I'm out. Peace.
Goddess of the Now Radio.
Oh yeah, we ain't done with you yet. We ain't done with you yet. We're still raising those vibrations, and you should be in your spaces raising your vibrations too. Welcome to Goddess of the Nile Radio Show. Anything that you dream of, anything that you envision, anything that you want in life is yours. You can achieve anything. You hear me? You can achieve anything because all things are possible. You don't have that vision. You don't have that dream just because. You're not dreaming that you can sing and get on stage. You're not dreaming about being in the NFL just because. Those ideas and those thoughts were given to you way before your arrival here. So let's continue to raise those vibrations and get ready for Goddess of the Now Radio, live right here on the Win DC Radio app and YouTube channel. It's your girl, Azor Natural Guy, and I have a very special guest in the building that you'll be meeting soon. So stay tuned, baby. Raise those vibrations. Save your spaces. And I'm out. See you in a little bit.
Goddess of the
Real
Now
talk, you
Radio.
can touch the sky. Ain't no doubt about it, no. Real talk, you can sit behind. Ain't no doubt about it, no. Real talk, we do it for the youth. Another generation. Yeah, you're strong enough to meet your destination. Nothing is impossible. No one can hold us down. We are unstoppable. 'Cause nothing is impossible.
You are now listening
No,
to
nothing
Goddess of
is
the Now Radio.
impossible. If the door doesn't open, don't wait. Use force to knock it down. Ain't no time for moping. No, the moment is right now. Yeah. Real talk, you can touch the sky. Ain't no doubt about it, no. Real talk, you can sit behind. Ain't no doubt about it, no. Real talk, we do it for the youth. Another generation. You are strong enough to meet your destination. Nothing is impossible. You can do anything. No one can hold us down. No one can stop us. Yeah, we are unstoppable. Yeah, 'cause nothing is impossible. No, nothing is impossible.
You are now listening to Goddess of the Now Radio.
Hey guys, Grand Rising, Grand Rising, Grand Rising. It's your girl, Azor Natural Gaia, live right here on the Win DC Radio app and YouTube channel. Welcome to Goddess of the Nile Radio, where we celebrate love, life, spirituality, individuality. Come on, girl, you can talk today. It's Sunday, and here I have a special guest in the building. I have my very favorite person in the whole wide world, my very favorite spiritual being in the whole wide world. Yes, indeed, Lima Beans in the building.
Hi, Azor. Hi, everybody. Thank you for having me. I'm so grateful to be here. So grateful.
I'm so grateful to have you.
Thank you. Thank
Yes.
you.
It's been a while since we had a guest on the show. The last guest that was on the show was my mom. And if anyone like to sip a little tea out there in the universe, watch that show and you'll figure some things out.
I missed that one. I gotta go back and watch that one. I missed that one.
Yeah, go back and watch that one and you'll be like, oh, so that's why. That's why. But I brought Lima Bean on the show today because she's an amazing energy. She's an amazing person, you know. I was going through something within my own spiritual journey and my own spiritual walk, and I needed some assistance. And, you know, Lima Bean has always been there for me since, like, she's like one of those day one spiritual beings, you know, like she's always been there for me. She's been supporting me along my spiritual walk, along anything that I want to do. It's like she's always there. She didn't even know me from a can of paint. She's always there for me. And I needed some assistance spiritually. And, you know, Lima Bean opened up her doors to me. She opened up her soul. She opened up her gifts, you know, her home to me. And a lot of people don't do that. And she was a gentle reminder to me that this spiritual walk, you know, it's a new walk for me. You know what I mean? Like, you go through life and you're praying. And you know, a lot of people who go through things and, you know, you may have a hard life and you may be plagued with people that are leeches and they just want to suck you dry and they don't want to give you anything in return, you know. But I always prayed for friends like you. I've always prayed for people. I have that effect on people. I always prayed for and asked Spirit to give me people that not only will receive my love, but will give me love in return. And you definitely do that. And they always say your vibe attracts your tribe. And as I began to remove the people, places, and things that no longer serve me, I began to replace it with wonderful people in my life. And Lima Bean is one of those people.
So
and I met her love bug today. I met her boyfriend today, her boo kitty. No offense. She's probably like, why is she calling me all of these? Like, that's what I do.
Boo kitty.
Your boo kitty. He's like, I'm not a cat.
That's my baby.
Leave me alone. He's like, you guys are so embarrassing. But he has an amazing energy as well, you know, a great energy. So today we're going to be talking about love. We're going to get into a little bit of spiritual sex, you know what I mean? It's a Sunday, so we ain't going to get too hot and heavy. Calm down, drink your water, take a shower. And also we're going to talk about what goes on in the world, because I don't have a clue what goes on in the world. I stay in my little pink Azure bubble, and I'm the protector of my own energy, so that way I can be able to serve others. So hopefully Lima Bean can hit me on what's going on in the world today. So like, yeah, we talked about here on the show last week. We talked a little bit about Aretha Franklin passing. But there was also someone else that passed on the political scene.
Guys, Senator John McCain has passed away. So he passed away yesterday at 81. He was battling brain cancer, or it was a brain tumor. It was a very aggressive brain tumor that he had. And yesterday he decided to stop his treatment. And at 4:28 p.m. local time, he did pass away. So we know Senator John McCain as the U.S. Republican senator. In 2008, he ran against Barack Obama. That's probably how most of us know him, you know, because, you know, we didn't want him to win. But he was also a Vietnam War prisoner as well, and he was a fighter pilot. So he has really served our country in so many different ways, and, you know, most of our audience, I think we're probably like Democratic or liberal, and just because he's a Republican, you know, it really doesn't mean that he wasn't a good person, and it doesn't mean that he didn't serve this country. So I just wanted to use this time, you know, to pay our respects to him, because he was an advocate for how do I say this? Let's just say he was not a Trump supporter in his last days. So
I like him already.
Exactly. So don't let him being a Republican kind of like, why are we talking about him? He was not a Trump supporter. He did a lot of good things for this country. So I just want to thank him for his service, his family, his loved ones, and definitely his soul and his spirit. You know, they're definitely in my thoughts and in my prayers. And may he live on peacefully.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. Now, I don't really watch the news too much, but wasn't there one point in time that like Trump had did like a Twitter rant about him or something? Like, I have no idea. I don't watch.
I believe so. I know. I believe it was during the time where they were trying to repeal the Affordable Care Act. And Senator John McCain's vote was that last vote to make the decision, and he voted not to repeal it.
Oh,
so
wow.
that's kind of when the McCain and Trump beef started.
Oh man, a bunch of old guys beefing.
You know. So that was probably what that was about.
Yo, Trump is something else, man. Like he beefs with everyone.
Everyone. Nobody's safe.
Nobody. So I have this theory in my head, and everyone thinks I'm crazy. And I even talk about this at work. Like now, my work is getting used to the new version of Azure, right? So I was discussing this on Friday with my intern. Intern Chelsea, she used to be a part of Goddess of the Nile Radio, and we also work together. So I was discussing with her. She was like, I don't even know how you got this job, because now I'm like head rap,
right,
aux, you know, Eye of Horus.
I'm trying to transition in my workplace.
She's
One
like,
day.
how did you do that? You know, like, how did they even hire you?
Right.
So I showed her a picture of me. And this was when Azora had 24-inch weave. It was Brazilian. It was amazing weave, by the way. Like, I was going I was getting an install and all that stuff was going on. Jet black. I had Kardashian hair. That's what I would call it. I always wore like either a navy blue suit or a black suit, you know, very plain
I
Jane.
can't even picture it.
I know. When I look back at her, I'm like, oh, look at her, you know? So I was telling my coworker, you know, she says, well, how did you like transition into like who you are now in the workplace? And I told her, I said, it all began with my spiritual journey. So like the very first thing I did was I wanted to come out the weave. I had to shed the weave. It was really, really getting on my nerves. And it came from a pay cut. Like,
okay.
that's where it first started.
You know, that's how I went natural. So I went off to college and I was like, I just can't afford perms.
Yeah, you're right. That's what it was for me too. That's exactly what happened. It was a pay cut because the maintenance of my hair weave was like $400 every two. And that was just to get it done. That wasn't even the hair.
Oh, no.
And I was one of those people where I was too bougie to like reinstall. So it was like a fresh.
Oh, no. So you got to reinstall.
You got to reinstall.
Come
No,
on.
I was not reinstalling the bundles. Like, no. So I was like, okay, so now I'm going to reinstall the bundles, right, to cut down on the cost. And it was still becoming too expensive. So someone had told me, like, when I took my hair out, this woman, she says, and I was like a wig wearer, weave wearer forever. I was, either my hair was short, like a boy, like cut really like a buzz cut, or it was like weave all the way like down to the floor sometimes, right? I invented that. I invented that. Nicki Minaj
Nicki didn't invent it. Come on.
No,
come on.
I got my hair from Georgetown, and it was all the way like down to the floor. Like I invented that.
Oh my
goodness. Yeah,
goodness.
I feel like she owes me money for that, but that's a whole nother.
You can ask her for a couple million.
Yeah,
Ask her to cut the check.
Yeah, she cut the check, right? So anyway, in that, I was like, this woman says, you have very beautiful hair. Like, why are you wearing this? It was an older woman. Why are you wearing this weave? And I was like, I don't know. And one thing about me, the way I was raised, is I value the opinions of my elders. Like, I moved throughout life really to just, like, please my elders in the very beginning. Now it's all about me, but more so back then, it was about making grandma happy and making, you know, my neighbors happy in my community. So when she said that, I was like, I want to let my hair breathe. And I literally, like, I got a real good condition and everything going on. And the woman did Bantu?
Oh, the Bantu knot.
The Bantu knot. So she did that, and she was like, when you get home tomorrow, take them out before you get ready to go to work, and that's how you're going to wear your hair. And my hair is blonde, like bleach blonde. So I did it, and everyone at work loved it. Yeah. Of course, they wanted to touch. Can I touch your hair? No.
Don't touch it. You can look, but you cannot touch.
Can I touch? So anyway, we're getting the wrap-up single. So we're getting ready to go back into another Tiz music break. All right. So thank you guys for tuning in. If you're watching us live on YouTube, hello. Hi. And if you're listening to us live on the WinDC Radio app, thank you so much for tuning in today. I am Azor Netarugaya here with special guest Lima Bean, and we'll be right back. Peace.
Watch where your mind wanders to. Look out for the monsters, they'll try to break you. Right when it seems everything is okay. Watch who you keep close to you. Stop fighting battles that you're bound to lose. Good memories are yours to keep. You don't have to let them go. Liars and cowards deceive, telling you words that you wanna believe. All that you see, all the people you meet, don't forget to hear your start counting on your blessings. Stop waiting for the stars to align. Start learning lessons that you never thought you'd ever learn. Is your heart full or is it empty? Standing alone or in good company? Everything that you see ain't just quite what it seems. Don't forget to hear your voice. So whenever you're unsure of a choice, keep your head up, follow your voice. Da 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 da. Swallow your voice. Hey. So whenever you're unsure of a choice, keep your head up and just follow your voice. Whenever you're unsure of a choice, keep your head up and just follow your start counting on your blessings. Stop waiting for the stars to align. Start learning lessons that you never thought you'd ever learn. Start counting on your blessings. Stop waiting for the stars to align. Start learning lessons that you never thought you'd ever learn. Learning lesson that you never thought you'd ever learn. Learning lesson that you never thought you'd never. You might want to stop. No, 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 no. Yeah, yeah. Before you bring it up, call me distant from your love, or difficult to care. Let me stop you there. Don't know if we'll be here. Time is borrowed, but not from our hands. I no longer fear tomorrow. It's not in my plans. It's a wild world. I wish I could promise you forever, but if a while works, then that's all we need. It's a wild world. I wish I could promise you forever, but if a while works, then that's all we need. Wild world, wild world. I can't even lie. You've been on my mind lately. I've been on a ride, losing track of time. But I don't wanna lose you. I don't wanna lose you. No. Tell me what I can do. Trying to find my way through. It's a wild world. I wish I could promise you forever, but if a while, then that's all we need. It's a wild world. I wish I could promise you forever, but if a while, then that's all we need. Close enough to touch, but never close enough. Just hope I'm not too much. Nobody compares. Don't gotta call you mine or spend all of your time with me. Just pray you realize everything in what it seems, but don't wanna confuse you. I don't wanna lose you. So tell me what I can do. Trying to find my way through this wild world. I wish I could promise you forever, but if a while, then that's all we need. It's a wild, wild
Hey guys, welcome back to Goddess of the Nile Radio, live right here on the Win DC Radio app and YouTube channel. It's your girl Azor Netaru Gaia here with my friend today, my special guest today, Lima B.
Hello, hello.
We are talking about love, sex, spirituality, and all things spiritually related today. So it's just a good old-fashioned conversation amongst us girls. So before we left you guys and we went into the music break, I began to tell you the story about how like I transitioned over to being like Azor in the workplace. So it all started with not being able to afford my weave, and I went natural and the workplace liked it. But then what happened was I really began to go and dig into the opening of my third eye. So when I began to open my third eye and get all the blockage out and things like that, my hair began to lock. Like there was nothing I could do about it.
Really?
Yeah, it was like
Wow.
I would detangle it, and the next day it'll lock up.
Wow.
Like, and I mean like locks. You
That's
know what
crazy.
I mean? And I said, okay, what is going on here with this hair?
Time for you to get some locks.
So I was like, you know, and then my boyfriend at the time, he said to me, he said, well, I think it's time for you to get some locks. You might as well just not, like stop fighting it and just go ahead and lock your hair up. So I was like, okay, I'll go ahead and do it. So I was looking in books and things like that, and I wanted to like get it professionally done. So they're called maintenance locks, and I was going to do maintenance locking, and I was like, no. Since this is a holistic experience that I'm going through, how about I do holistic locks? So I began my journey of holistic locks, and
Those are what they call the freeforms, right?
freeforms.
Okay.
Yeah, absolutely. So I began freeforming my locks. So what I did was I did the Bantu knots, and that's how it started. And then it was like shrinkage like no other. Like I literally went through an unattractive stage where I felt like buckwheat. So it was like all of my little Bantu locks began to shrink and shrivel.
Oh, no.
And like during that whole entire process, I began to wear head wraps. I wasn't wearing head wraps for religious reasons, but I was wearing it because my hair was ugly. You know what I mean?
My
Like in my head, like that's where the whole head wrap thing came from me. So my poor ex at the time, I was going through a spiritual journey and he was not. My ex was 20 something years older than me. So he kind of was set in his ways, kind of set in spirituality. Didn't know anything about crystals, saging, Florida water, didn't have a clue.
That's tough already.
Yeah, right? No, you're feeling it, right? Okay, so let's segue into this because you're a very spiritual being and you're also in a relationship.
Yes.
So can we talk about that? Like, how did that come about? Were you already this spiritual being in your relationship, or did you guys grow together? Like, what does that look like spiritually?
Let's see. So me and William, we've been dating for about 8 months, officially around the 8-month mark. And I would say both of us are growing together, but we definitely were both spiritual on our own before we met.
Okay.
And it sounds weird, but I believe our whole relationship is a big, giant spiritual thing. Like, it's
a
crazy
spiritually
as that
based
sounds.
relationship.
It is. I really
Yeah.
feel like it is. We have the same exact birthday.
What?
We were both born on July 9th, 1991.
Whoa.
Yeah, and just some of the things we have in common is just crazy. The way we met one time and we exchanged numbers. It was during college, you know, after the club, that type of thing. I never seen this guy again.
Were you guys parking lot pimping?
Basically. But after we exchanged numbers, I never seen this man again for 6 years.
What?
Never seen him again in my life. We said happy birthday to each other every year. Small chatted, but I never seen him. And it turns out that we were living right across the street from each other.
What?
The whole entire time.
That's crazy.
Exactly. And it's just like these little things in our relationship, like these little coincidences, they're huge coincidences. Like, and his spiritual gifts and my spiritual gifts, they kind of mesh together, if you know what that means.
Yeah.
We have like some of the same spirit guides. Like, we've been through some of the same things. So I definitely feel like it's kind of an ordained thing we got going on here.
Yeah.
It's weird, but I'm very grateful for that. So a lot of, things that I'm going through, I'm lucky to have him because he understands. You know, if he hasn't already been through it himself, he gets what I'm going through and he can support me, and vice versa.
Oh wow!
So we're kind of lucky. We're kind of blessed.
Yeah, you're very blessed.
Mm-hmm.
Now, a lot of people talk about twin flames. I cannot for the life of me. I have researched this to death. I can't figure it out. I can't figure out why anyone wants one. You know what I mean? But would you consider like okay, so what is your perspective of the twin flame? Because maybe it's different than what I've been researching.
It's so funny because me and him argue. He thinks we're soulmates. I say we're twin flames.
Oh, God. I'm with William.
I think we're twin flames. I think what a common conception about like the twin flame relationship is that it's a struggle relationship. You know, you kind of go away and come back and y'all argue and make up and da-da-da-da-da. But it's not always like that. When you're already at a certain level of self-realization and self-regulation, you don't go through all of that bullcrap. For me, a twin flame is, I describe a twin flame as you start off as one big like energetic cloth or whatever. Your soul is one thing. When the love becomes too much, you break off into two energetic cloths. And somehow you find each other again. But like twin flame relationships, they're not, I feel like in soulmate relationships, one person kind of helps the other grow, you know, kind of helps the other come into an awakening, or you guys are growing to get to that state, you know, you're from the same soul, you know what I'm saying? But as far as a twin flame, you're kind of already there, if that makes sense. And you're working together to try to create something bigger for the consciousness of the planet, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's how it differs for me, you know? So you start off as one and you break off and you find each other. That's a twin flame. Soulmate for me is you got two souls out here, y'all come together and you complete each other. So that's how I differentiate the two.
I'm with you on that. Like, for me, in the research that I've been doing, it seems like the twin flame brings out the ugliness in you, and it exposes things, and it causes for you to grow.
Because your twin flame is your mirror. That's your exact mirror. So if anything is going to help you grow, it's looking at yourself, and that's how I feel with William, because sometimes he does stuff, and I get so mad. And I would just want to be like, but then I have to pause and check myself, because I'm like, well, I do the same thing. Like,
how can I be mad?
So I can't be mad at you. I can't be mad at you at all. So yeah, definitely with twin flames, a twin flame is going to be your exact mirror.
So do you guys have the same gifts? Like,
oh no.
No?
No.
Okay, so what are some of your gifts, and then what are some of William's gifts?
So this is my first time saying this out loud to the public.
Yeah, it's okay though. You're amongst friends, right, guys?
Of course, like the little stuff. I am a light worker. I'm a healer. I am a Reiki therapist, but I'm also a psychic medium. So you know, and
I didn't know that about you.
Yeah, like, and there's different modalities to being a psychic. You can feel, you can see, you can hear, and I'm kind of a mix of like all of them. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Yeah, so it gets a little crazy sometimes, but those, you know, I can see and talk to spirits and things like that. It's not completely at my will yet. Sometimes it just happens. But we're learning and we're growing, and that's what this journey is all about. Now this one over here, he is a projector. He is an astral projector.
Oh, wow.
He's
taking trips like me.
Yeah, and he wakes me up in the middle of the night taking his trips. Who
needs a vacation?
Exactly. He astral projects. He has visions, prophetic visions. He's also very, very psychic himself, and very, very, he's an empath. How do you say that? Empathetic? Is that the word?
Empath is fine too.
Yeah. So, and he's also a great artist. Like, I consider that one of his spiritual gifts, but I don't think he does. I think he just thinks it's a talent, but I definitely think that is something that comes from the divine.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, and I wish he would draw more.
He will when he's ready.
Yeah, when he's ready. Yeah. That's the hard part.
One thing about artists is that our healing is through our artwork.
It is.
So like even me being a radio person, this is my form of art, like talking to people, and this is how I heal myself and how I heal others. So when the stronger he gets in his journey, see, Spirit's talking to me right now. I love when Spirit does that. But the stronger he gets in his journey, it'll all make sense. Like, there's a lot of things about us as gifted beings. There's a lot of things about us where we don't really understand a lot of things right now.
Right. Yes.
But it's like everything matters. You know, like it's like finding pieces of a puzzle. and we'll begin to like grab a little bit of this, grab a little bit of that. Like, oh, that's why that dog was growling at me that day.
Mm-hmm.
It'll happen, and you'll know that that event is significant to your journey. But 3 years from now, you'll be like, this is why the dog was growling.
I always say there are years that ask questions, and then there are years that answer.
Yes.
And I feel like that is just the theme of your spiritual journey.
Oh my
All
God,
this random
yes.
stuff happens, and 10 years later, you go and get a reading, and like all that stuff that happened 10 years later is coming up, and it's just one big giant circle. Yeah.
It all makes sense.
And I love it.
It all makes sense. Tiz, how much time do we have? We're good? Okay. I had to make sure because I didn't want to jump into another topic. So how does your family feel about your spiritual journey? How are they with it? Especially with it being like the both of you guys.
They don't. Oh, man.
What's happening there? This is the place where you can talk about it. This is what I'm here for.
They don't fully know the extent of it, but they see a big change. I know. So hi, Mom and Dad, if you're watching. Oh my God. They don't know the full extent to it. So they really know about my Reiki.
Okay.
Or whatever, because I really like Reiki. And I don't mean to toot my own horn, but I'm very gifted with Reiki and energy healing. I am. And so I'm trying to get them, like, weed them into that. But, of course, they have questions.
Oh,
Is
yeah.
this witchcraft? Is this voodoo? Where's the energy coming from? And, like, all kinds of
And how do you know?
Yeah, and how do you know? Because I grew up Christian. I grew up Kojic and then non-denominational. So my parents, you know, they go to a non-denominational Christian church now. So
cool.
they're more religious than spiritual.
Okay.
Yeah, so, but I feel like they won't take it terribly because even though my parents are religious, they're gifted as well.
Yeah.
Like my father, he sees spirits and can talk to spirits as well. And my stepmom can too. So they understand a lot of things, but just the religious aspect of it. You know?
Yeah, I can dig that. Like some people need that as a guide. You
Definitely.
know, for me, I feel a burp coming on. I'm sorry, I do this sometimes.
Oh, you have no idea.
All right,
You're
there we go.
good.
Thank God it went away because sometimes it's like you don't know what's going to come out of me. You know, it could either be a 50-year-old man or like a baby burp. Like there's no telling.
It
so
is what it is. Better out than in.
Pardon me in advance, but sometimes people need that that support. They can be gifted and they need the support of the fellowship that's found in the church. You know what I mean? Some people,
I understand that.
Some
actually.
people do need that,
Mm-hmm.
and then some people don't. And then it's all about finding that perfect religious institution which is very hard to find that accepts you, you know, for your gifts and all of that stuff without saying, "Oh my God, you know, what are you? What are you doing? What is happening here?"
Right.
You know, that happens too. So anyway, it is 11:45. So it is time for us to take a beautiful, wonderful musical break. I believe our next break will be our local artists. So we play a lot of local artists here, which is the band Black Alley.
Okay.
Have you ever went to go see Black Alley? See, that needs to be your first go-go experience.
Who dat?
Because they're not really a go-go band. They're more of like a rock go-go band.
Yeah, I've
kind of
never been to a go-go
situation.
know.
Yeah, you and I
any
need
of
to
that.
go. You and I and intern Chelsea, whenever you get a chance to meet her too. Because she's from California. She has no clue what go-go is. Like,
Oh.
you can't be here and not go to a go-go.
There's some who that TCB or something like that. Is that the go-go band?
We don't know what that is.
Why is everybody laughing? Is that bad?
I don't know.
Is that bad? Okay, I see how y'all gonna do.
Well, how about we go into a music break?
Yeah, let it.
All right, guys.
All right.
We'll be right back.
Get your conversation. No more hesitating. Now we're back at your place and just like I imagined you were divine. Sending isms up and down my spine. Wanna go no place. You know you lace me, boy. Nothing else matters. No complications. Just like a phoenix rising from the flame. The higher ground where joy obtained. You took me down to your river, and you got deep in me. So deep I was speaking in needs. You came and you set me free. Didn't buy me no diamonds or pearls. Didn't ask me to be your girl. No, you didn't try to give me the world. You just let me be a bad girl. Can I be a bad girl? I wanna be a bad girl. Just take me to another world where I can be a bad girl. Can I be a bad girl? I wanna be a bad girl. Don't try to give me the world. Just let me be a bad girl. I wanna be delivered. Can I get free with you? I wanna be delivered. Can I get free with you? I wanna be delivered. Can I get free with you?
Say we won't fall away. Say we won't fall away. I've got no one in this world. I've got no one but my own. I've got the weary blues and I can't be satisfied. I ain't happy no more and I wish that I died.
I end up alone so often it's on a daily. In a space full of maybes, what ifs, and could have beens. My future was clear to me, but now showing vaguely. Spreading itself to be thin. How did I reach my own end? Can I redo this again? No. Like a box bird with an injured wing. All I wanna do is drop off a building and sing. But these wounds stopped healing the same way. Maybe it's cause I'm older and every problem pushes down on my shoulders. This pressure only made them colder. At times it's hard to recognize myself, my feelings, my actions. It's like, who have I become? Cause this wasn't always me. I used to fully carry myself different free. Cause someone show me how to find my inner peace? Or will I have to find it in a flight and leave her drown in Shenandoah screams?
I've got no one in this world. I've got no one but my own. I've got the weary blues and I can't be satisfied. I ain't happy no more and I wish that I died.
I'm not afraid of my silence. Heard the river calling for a kiss. Her flow might be guidance. I hope she's more than enlightened. I'm ready and I wanna make up for the things I missed. Pulled out of my comfort zone by the world and I'm now in unknown areas I never knew within myself. I tried to confront what I really am, but that seems all without an end. Cause I put every problem on the shelf. Now they fester like a sore under the sun. I thought they dried out, but they only ever run. And I can't beat it anymore, I'm overdone. So they become a piece of me and now we're one. Makes me numb to the problems aching the earth. It's getting hard to connect. I keep on stepping along with my conscience stand in regret. Should've turned it around, but by now I'm in full neglect. And I see that my end is near, so it's time that I redirect.
Say we won't fall away. Say we won't fall away. I've got no one in this world. I've got no one but my own. I've got the weary blues and I can't be satisfied. I ain't happy no more and I wish that I died.
Would you wait for me? 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 Would you wait for me?
Her cool, calm face put a smile on mine. She asked me for a kiss, but I don't know if it's fine. She hinted it would ease up what's been stuck on my mind and take the pain I feel and put some peace back inside. She touched my fingertips and that was enough to make me take my clothes off and give in on my trust. I thought she would feel warmer, but she's cool to the touch. I thought this would be hard, but not a moment was tough.
The Shops at Iverson is now undergoing a transformation, creating a mixed-use center where the community can come together to eat, shop, relax, and feel connected. The Shops at Iverson is a 600 KSF mixed-use property consisting of retail and office space now available. Located inside the Beltway on Branch Avenue, Maryland, just minutes from downtown D.C. It's an exciting time at the Shops at Iverson. Several beautiful renovation projects are ongoing, transforming the Shops at Iverson into the new safe community hub. DMV, get ready to enjoy the new food court. Opening late spring, early summer, featuring new restaurants like Chipotle, Quickway Hibachi, Tropical Smoothie, Wingstop, and free Wi-Fi. The Shops at Iverson, the original home of the world-famous Snickerdoodle cookies, is completing several cosmetic improvements to the mall interior, facade, and parking garage. The Shops at Iverson is the new home of Go Win Media, comprised of the DMV's premier internet radio stations, Go Radio Live and Win DC Radio. For updates and more details, check out shopiverson.com. That's shopiverson.com. Looking for a new look? Check out Hair Academy 2 in the Shops at Iverson, Hillcrest Heights, Maryland. You'll get quality services done by developing stylists and barbers. Senior discounts offered weekly and free barbershop services available when you present a flyer. Chemical treatments are also available. Call 301-899-9100 for hours of operation. Hair Academy 2 in the Shops at Iverson, 3705 Branch Avenue, Suite 1010, lower level, Hillcrest Heights. A new look is waiting for you at Hair Academy 2.
You are now listening to Goddess of the Nile Radio.
I thought we understood, we were clear. Let's ride the wave. Let's not make this weird. Good vibes and conversation, no complications. We chillin' here, so if it's good, then let it be. If it's right, then let it breathe. Don't start tripping on me. You and I don't need to be without. So don't go switching, changing on me, no. Please don't make it too complicated. Yeah. Oh no, baby, it's too complicated. Yeah. Don't change a thing, don't complicate it. Don't aggravate, don't cause wave. Don't complicate, don't complicate. Yeah, no, too damn complicated. 'Cause it's already good. Why rock the boat? Why even risk it? If we're staying afloat, I know the right where this could go. We start to change, then love comes and goes. So if it's good, then let it be. If it's right, then let it breathe. Don't stop tripping on me.
Hey guys, welcome back to Goddess of the Nile Radio, live right here on the Win DC Radio app and YouTube channel. It's your girl Azor Netru Gaia, here with my special guest, Lima Bean.
Hi, everybody.
We are in the building talking about love, sex, and spirituality. Yeah. We got all into Lima Bean's business with her relationship and how her family, you know, thinks about her spirituality and things like that. Yeah. But since I don't watch the news, right, I got to depend on my friends who have a stronger, like, outer protection shell. Because, like, basically, the reason why I don't watch the news is because I'm an empath like you are. So, like, if there's a volcano, like there's a hurricane, I know for sure that's going on in Hawaii. And, like...
I missed it. It
did?
Off. Yeah, so they're not going to get hit.
Yay!
Yeah.
See, that's something I would be all sad about and all worked up. So I let you guys watch the news and kind of tell me. You are my news. Okay. So what else is on and popping in the world of news?
So since we're talking about love, sex, spirituality, all of that, this has actually been in the news for a while, but there was a young man from Colorado, I believe, and his name was Christopher Watts. And he was married and had a family. He had a pregnant wife and 2 daughters who were 2 and 3, I believe, and they went missing. And so the family went missing. They interviewed Christopher Watts, and he got on TV and begged and pleaded for them to come back. He didn't know what happened. And it turns out that he murdered them.
What?
He murdered his 2 daughters. He murdered his wife. And then also, you know, his wife was pregnant. So
the unborn baby.
The unborn baby as well. We really don't know why, but we do know he was having an affair at work. And him and his wife, they were in debt. They had filed bankruptcy, and they, I think, were like $400,000 in debt.
Okay.
But what he's saying is that he killed the wife because he told her he wanted to leave, and she started strangling the 2 daughters.
What?
Nobody believes that story.
Yeah, come on, Chris.
Nobody believes that story. But what's so crazy about this to me is that when he was giving the interview, when it all first started, just the look in his eyes was so cold and calculating. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. As he's talking about begging for his wife and children to come home, and he literally just killed them probably the night before or the same day earlier. How could you, get on national TV and get on national news? Not even, there was no tears, there was no emotion, there was nothing, and it's just so sad. And what's even more sad about it is they were such a coveted, like a lot of people coveted after their relationship, because on social media they were always laughing and smiling and gushing about each other. They were always on vacations, everything seemed good. But that's just why you should never want what somebody else has, especially when it comes to social media.
The relationship goals.
Exactly. Relationship goals, all that. All y'all out here talking about, y'all want to be like Jay-Z and Beyonce, and Beyonce getting cheated on every day. Like, it just doesn't make any sense to me. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Like, it sounds rude, but mind your own business. Mind your own business and do what you have to do and have your own goals and have your own standards.
Yeah, I agree.
But,
I agree.
Yeah, so Christopher Watts, he's currently in jail. And he is facing life to death penalty. They do the death penalty in the state that he lives in. So we can stay tuned and see how that unfolds.
Did they find the bodies?
So he worked at an oil rig. It's so sad because the wife's body was found like north, a couple of miles north on like land from the oil rig company. And then the 2 girls were stuffed inside of oil tanks.
Aww.
Yeah. Very sad, and they're showing clips of like the girls and how they just love their father. Like they looked up to him as a hero, they were always climbing on his backs and I love you, daddy, and just how could you?
That takes a lot of time too.
Takes a lot of demons.
Yeah, and I believe in that.
Me too.
Like, for you to take the time to actually like commit the murder, and that was a lot of murder that had to take place. And for nothing to stop you, I believe that there probably was some type of blackout or something that was going on.
Absolutely. But you're seeing so much more of that in the news now, and it's scary. There was a young girl, she got abducted while she was on a run, college student in Iowa. And it was a Hispanic man, and he was following her on her run. And next thing you know, he said he blacked out, and he just remembers putting her bloody body in his car. And he dumped the body somewhere. So he's also in police custody as well. Yep, said he doesn't remember what happened.
Oh my God.
Yep. So it's scary. It's very scary.
It's very scary.
It's spiritual warfare. I say it's so real. It's so real.
Yeah. Do you feel like if you leave out the house with like your Florida water and your crystals and you go for a run, like you're protected, or like how do you feel about that? Like protecting
I love
yourself?
my crystals. I don't feel like the crystals do all of my protecting. They definitely don't, but they're a reminder as well for me to protect myself spiritually. You know what I'm saying? Because I have like a little ritual and a prayer and things like that. Yeah. And when I put on my necklace, it just helps raise that vibration.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Like, it's a tool.
It's a tool. Like I have on my necklace and I could just instantly, it's just like, shoo, and like this orb is just around me. Like I imagine it shooting out from my necklace and I'm good. I'm good. So crystals assist me in that way, you know.
Do you feel like so a lot of people believe in the creation of their life before their arrival here? So like for example, that family. Mm-hmm. Are you the type of person that believes that the family that was murdered, like they made the decision before they got here to have that human experience?
Absolutely. Yeah, I believe I'm one of those reincarnation type people. I believe we come here and we keep coming here until we get it right. And our DNA changes and we don't have to come back here anymore. You know what I'm saying? Right. I definitely believe that. Our souls choose who they are, what family we're born into, our names, all of that before any birth happens. But we just happen to forget once we come out of our mom's vagina. Yeah.
Got it all mapped out and you're like, wait a minute.
Who am I? But that's what your spiritual journey is for. It's for remembering that. You know what I'm saying? Right. And unlocking those keys and figuring out your earth lessons here. So like you don't have to come back. You know what I'm saying? I'm 100% sure that this is my last lifetime here on earth.
Yeah, I'm done.
I'm
sis.
done. I'm done.
Out of here.
I ain't coming back. Sorry. It's not happening.
A lot of 9 life pathers.
I'm a 9.
Yeah, a lot of us feel that way. Like as soon as we find out we're a 9, we're like, oh, I'm out of here. Mm-hmm. Don't cry for me, Argentina.
I really feel like when you start getting into the roles of leading others and teaching and spreading spiritual knowledge, I feel like that's definitely a key indicator, and you have a good following and people are listening. That's definitely a key indicator of like how you're ascending. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And of course we all go through our things but behind closed doors, but hopefully the things that you're teaching are the things that you're practicing at home as well. You know, you can have the theoretical knowledge of it, but you also have to be practical as well. You can talk as much as you want to, but if you ain't doing the work, you're not doing the work. You know what I'm saying? So also got to be careful with who you're listening to out here, who you're following out here. Do you know who these people's spirit guides are? Do you know what kind of religion or whatever that they're into? You know what I'm saying?
I'm like a bobblehead over here right now.
You really have some people who are out here preaching love and light, but they out here worshiping Satan.
Yeah.
No bullshit.
You can't curse.
Oh. I'm so sorry. It's no bull crap.
There you go. Sugar, honey, iced tea. Yeah. But you're absolutely right. And it was strength behind the words that you just said, because you are absolutely right.
Do your homework.
You definitely have to do your homework. You have to do your homework. There were people that actually came to me and respected me as a spiritual teacher. And, you know, there's certain people, because I live in this Azure bubble. Mm-hmm. And there are certain people that have utilized my platform to push their own agenda. And people came to me in tears. They had been bullied. They had been, oh my God. I guess the number one word is bullied, because they had questions. And they were like, oh my God, Azure, like I felt like because you said, and I was like, whoa, what's happening here? And I had to go and do my research. And that's when I found out that certain people that were representing themselves as being Reiki masters, as being spiritual teachers and leaders and conveying a message to people were actually not doing the work. They weren't researching. They were worshiping certain entities, and they were actually causing spiritual damage to a lot of people.
I'm getting so warm, like.
Yeah, like I'm getting warm too. Like that's what was happening, and the thing about it is, you know, as a spiritual leader, what that did for me was that woke me up, and it showed me that I have a huge responsibility. Like people are actually taking the information that I'm sharing with them, like they're taking it as like this is the truth. This is what it
Absolutely.
is.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? And if Azor says it's okay, then it's okay.
Absolutely.
So it's like, whoa, you guys are listening to me? Oh.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So let me make sure I'm exposing you guys to amazing people, that I'm exposing you guys to amazing friendships and what love looks like. Because I can't preach and talk about love and how you're supposed to love everybody, and then as soon as you go on someone's Facebook or Instagram account, they're denouncing people for what they believe in. I cannot use my platform for that. So for the rest of the year, I'm bringing on, it's going to be like Azor and Friends. I'm going to bring on the people, because my vibe attracts my tribe.
Absolutely.
So I'm going to bring on people that are actually touching the lives out here in the universe, touching and healing and teaching and living an authentic version of themselves all the way around the board.
Yes,
you know what I mean? Like anytime you go and you check out Lima Bean's Facebook page, it matches her Instagram, and like her posts, it matches everything. Everything matches because you're being the authentic version of yourself.
I appreciate you.
Appreciate
so
you
much.
too, babe,
Thank
because
you.
it's not easy for people to do that. I don't know why people are so afraid of themselves.
It's still not easy. It's still a struggle, and it's because people aren't nice. Honestly,
yeah, you're right. People
and
are nice.
as much as
They
they say
watch
the
those-
sticks and stones and stuff like that.
Oh,
words are not.
it
Words do hurt.
Yeah,
Words
focus.
and opinions, especially from certain people who you thought
Let me
should
tell
be
you,
in your corner and supporting you.
Words are spells.
hurt. Yeah, absolutely.
That's why they're hurting us.
Mm-hmm.
They're spells, and that's why they're hurting us. And what we have to learn how to do with that information is, for me, and this comes from Yeshua, or Jesus being my ascended master. He teaches me how to love.
Absolutely.
And Tislam put up his 3-minute sign, and before I get into this whole 2 minutes now, he's over there like,
keep us in check. Keep us in check.
So before I go into this story that I have to share with you today about my first experience with love, I want us to go ahead and take a music break, and then I'll come back with that story that I love to share with you.
I can't wait to hear.
Yeah,
I can't wait to hear it.
It's a good one. We'll be right back, guys. Thank you for tuning in to Goddess of the Nile Radio, live right here on the Win DC Radio app and YouTube channel.
Yes.
He has more thorns than a rose garden, but his tulips were made for mine. To the world, he's a dandelion. Every flower just needs some light. I told him to watch and see. In the right room with the right love, all flowers bloom. And then he said to me, would you watch me? When the sun goes to sleep, stay and talk to me. So beneath my feet, dry up on my knees. Will you walk to me? Will you walk to me?
Greetings to all of you in the language of love, the universal language. Beauty is the splendor of truth. Use your hearts for what your hearts are for. Fill them with light. Do not fill them with darkness. The light of the human heart, when it's given faith, if it were opened up, it would blind the world. May this message give us eyes with which to see, ears with which to hear, and hearts with which to love each other and to love the world and to do good.
You're not using your heart for what hearts are for. They've been trying to shut us down our whole life. I thank God for healing. You ain't gotta get me lit, I got my own life. Thank God for listening. Listen, you've been trying to build me up my whole life. I thank God for building. You ain't gotta get me lit, I got my own life. I thank God I'm living. Sometimes I feel like a stranger. Maybe I ain't from here. World going crazy. How could that be unclear? Know that I'm a soldier. Hearts on my battleground. Sword in the holster. Had to come back around. I ain't trying to hide away. I just had to meditate. I ain't got a lot to say. What the ancestors made. Speaking to the whole globe. Numbers don't occur to me. You can listen solo. Cause you're the whole world to me. I jump in with both feet. Nothing low key. You can find me where I'm supposed to be. Where my folks be. If you listen very closely, you know who chose me. Nothing that I own owns me, and so I'm so free. I remember being hungry, needing groceries, nighttime getting no sleep till my nose bleed. Got a message to the police. You're not using your heart for what hearts are for. They've been trying to shut us down our whole life. I thank God for healing. You ain't gotta get me lit, I got my own life. Thank God for listening. Listen, you've been trying to build me up my whole life. I thank God for building. You ain't gotta get me lit, I got my own life. I thank God I'm living. Not for 1 second, I believe what you're telling me. I know you invent the disease and sell the remedy. Universe is sending me centuries of memories. So the very breath that I breathe is all I ever need. I got that Muhammad Ali up in my pedigree. Yes, I be speaking my peace up in my 70s. Ain't worried about you threatening me. I'm just being honest. I ain't buying fear just because it's all you got left. We just wanna make love till we wake up. I believe whoever made us envisioned greatness. And you know they wanna paint us with the same brush. Wanna entertain us till we fill our grave up. Alright, okay, but when it's all said and it's all done, and I look back at the trophies I won, I will only count one. I'm using my heart for what hearts are for. They've been trying to shut us down our whole life. I thank God for healing. You ain't gotta get me lit, I got my own life. Thank God for listening. Listen, you've been trying to build me up my whole life. I thank God for building. You ain't gotta get me lit, I got my own life. I thank God I'm living, and I know who I am. I know whose I am. On your wings I fly, in your shoes I stand. I'm animated by love, I don't move by chance. Any stage I touch, any place I stand, there y'all land. Living in the world as it is, cracked vessel I am. No more and no less than a man. Any possessions that I have are just in my hand. I balance them the best that I can. I'm not making no claims, but I'm using my heart for what hearts are for. All the beauty in this whole life. I thank God for healing, and you ain't gotta get me lit, I got my own life. I thank God for listening. Listen, you've been trying to build me up my whole life. I thank God for building. You ain't gotta get me lit, I got my own life. I thank God I'm living, just reflecting all the beauty in this whole life.
Hey guys, welcome back to Goddess of the Nile radio show, live right here on the Win DC radio app and YouTube channel. Like, where's my applause? Thank you, Lima Bean. It's Azor Netzeru Guy. I don't know if I said it yet, but I'm here with my special guest, Lima Bean.
Hi, everybody.
And before we went into our music break, I was going to talk to you. I was going to share with you guys a personal story about the very first time that I experienced love.
I love it.
Okay. So grab your teacups and let's get ready. So people who have been following Azor, they know that I have been down this trail of healing for about almost a year now. I've been sober for 9 months.
Awesome. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Oh
Thanks,
my
guys.
gosh.
It took tons and tons of hard work.
Of course.
With my sobriety, so as soon as I became sober and I removed alcohol from my life, even marijuana from my life, my spiritual gifts just enhanced. What I was doing was I was numbing out. So like if I was having an issue at work, like, oh my God, where's my glass of wine? Scandal did not help. Because she showed me that I could get great big glasses of wine.
We all had those. You pour a whole bottle in.
So,
lights out.
Yeah, so that did not help me. So when I began to like remove the people, places, and things that were no longer serving of me and no longer numbing out by using alcohol or by using marijuana, I began to feel things again. So I went to a spiritual advisor and she asked me, and this is just my own personal story. And for everyone that's listening out there, I want to let you guys know this is a judge-free zone.
Absolutely.
I do not judge you based on what resonates with you, what you're into, whatever gets you to your happy place. Continue to do that. What I learned along this journey is that, you know, there's certain type of entities, there's certain type of energies that does not resonate with everyone.
Absolutely.
So you have some people that do not resonate with Christ's energy, and that's okay. Christ isn't for you. That's fine. You know what I mean? And there's some people that do. And there's some people that are like on the fence and they don't know what's going on, and that's fine too, because this is a part of your human experience, okay? And I'm just here to talk about mine. I just had to go ahead and do that disclaimer for some people. So when I went to go to see the spiritual advisor, she says to me, Azor, why haven't you been connecting to the Holy Spirit? And I was like, what do you mean? Like, I do connect. She's like, no. You're not connecting. She says, you're not going to church anymore because you love to sing. You love I love the music.
Yeah, I do too.
It's all like, as soon as the preaching comes on, I go to the bathroom.
Yeah, I go to sleep.
No
shade.
Yeah, all tea and shade. And sometimes it's like, dude, no, honey.
I'll let me talk about that. I don't want to hear it.
Right. That's fine. So definitely that happens. So, but I love the music. I love the people. Love the fellowship. All that stuff.
Right.
And actually when I'm in certain churches, not all, but in certain churches, I begin to feel the Holy Spirit moving through me,
yes.
right? It feels really, really good. And she was like, why haven't you been connecting? So I told her the whole story about the ex. And you guys who are new, who maybe missed this episode on following your spiritual path, I think it's part 2. I get into how my ex is a spiritual vampire. So basically what he was doing was he was using the fact that I had a connection to church. He was using that to feed off of me. So that's a whole, you gotta go back and watch that show.
Yeah.
But that's what he was doing. So when that happened, I disconnected from church. So I just went into my spirituality. I could have church in the house. You know what I mean?
Right.
I can have church. All I need is 2 people and I can have church. You know, and that works for some people. But for me, I need that music and that fellowship, right? So I'm leaving work one day. Well, when she told me that, I was like, I need to start connecting to the Holy Spirit. So what I did was I began to pray again. I had stopped praying. I began to pray again. And I prayed and I had these amazing dreams. And then after I prayed, you know, and what I prayed for was the connection to the Holy Spirit, like come back in, I miss you, like that kind of thing. And the next day I was leaving work, and I had never felt this feeling before in my life. I was leaving work, and I was walking to my car, and in my soul, so I believe it was my sacral chakra, began to glow.
Did it?
It was like, whoa, right? And it's the weirdest thing ever, but it was like, whoa. And I said, whoa, what's this?
That's so amazing.
And then all of a sudden it was like, whoa. And I was like, oh my God, what is happening? And then all of a sudden it was like my heart chakra began to glow. And it was like, whoa.
That's so beautiful.
And then it kind of was like, both of them were glowing at the same time, and it was just this, and I was like, oh my God, what is happening?
Right.
But there's a park around the corner. It's one of my favorite parks. So I headed to the park, and at this point, all of my spiritual guides and my ancestors are around me. Like my crew was there. So and my crew was like, turn on the I call it the Negro spirituals. Turn on the, which is church music.
It's time to worship.
Turn on the Negro spirituals, girl. So I was like, okay. Lie to you not. The song that comes on is My Heart Says Yes.
Awesome.
So My Heart Says Yes is playing. My heart chakra and my sacral chakra are like literally, I'm bursting. Like I feel like this one huge like light bulb. And
all that healing.
Oh my God. And I could feel it like, and it was just traveling. Like you said, all the healing, it was just traveling all through me. And I could hear source. I could hear God say, this is love.
Amen.
This is what love feels like.
Oh my gosh.
And I just like, I just let it loose. I had a good old fashioned cry.
Yeah, those are the most releasing. There's nothing like a good old fashioned cry.
Man,
the best medicine.
The nose
Yes.
and the soul shower was going on.
Soul shower, I like that.
And I felt, after that was all done, the connection was back. And it felt really, really good. And then, just to show you how, like, this is not a game, how Spirit prepares us. Later on that evening, I was cyberbullied. And it was someone who, like, I was helping throughout their spiritual career and things like that. They began to bully me. And this was, in a million years, I never thought that I would do this. But what I did was, and I'm an empath too, so I felt the pain that was coming from like one of her supporters. I felt all the pain. This person had been church hurt. So I took the time to like go into her inbox and be like, yo, I know that all that stuff, all that smack that you're talking, it's not you. It's not the best version of you. It's not even you that's doing it. It's your pain that's doing it. So I love you anyway. You'll be all right. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to pray for you. I'm sending you healing and love and light. And I pray that someone comes into your life that can show you that, like, this particular person needs to be in the church.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, I know it's not for everyone, but this particular person, like, it's a part of her story. She needs to find her way back there.
Right.
You know what I mean? And I put aside all those, the hurt feelings and all of that, so I can still deliver her the message. And the message is, Yeshua, Jesus is my ascended master. And you may say mean things about him and mean things about me, but baby girl, I still love you.
And that's how you have to approach all of your enemies.
You know what I'm saying?
You know
I still love you. And at the end of the day, it was like, and I love you, and I love you.
Yeah.
I love everybody.
Yeah.
And
you're supposed to,
I mean, like,
regardless.
A week ago.
About a week ago,
I would have been like, boo-boo. I could still break out the Vaseline and the Timberland boots. When you ready? Let's got like all this hair wrap and unks and stuff. When you ready? But I was like, wait a minute. I am now full circle. I am now like able to recycle negative energy and turn it into love.
And that's what Christ consciousness is all about.
That's what it's all about. So that was my experience with like love for the very first time.
It's a great one, wasn't it?
It was so good.
And it's so addictive. You know what I'm saying? Because that's so much power to put aside like your own feelings and your own instant reactions, to have that much self-regulation and realization and clarity in that moment, to be like, wait
a minute, pause.
Let me pause it. Let me give this girl what she needs, although she's attacking me. Let me try to help her. Let me try to heal her. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what it's all about. Like, light workers and stuff like that. Hate to say it, but if you're called to be a light worker, like, your life kind of isn't for you.
Nope.
At all. You know what I'm saying? It's just not for you. It's for other people.
Yeah.
And it's just how we have to live our lives, you know, but it's so rewarding in the end. There's no greater feeling of power than empowering somebody else or planting a seed.
Yeah, that's it. That is so true, because sometimes people in your work, sometimes people will receive it and, you know, it's all good. But most of the time, they will not receive that message. They will not receive the message. But just know that in your words, because when you are a light worker, there's power in your words. Absolutely. And when you're planting those seeds, that seed will grow, because you kind of started the process for them versus you. Then next thing you know, it's going to be a message that comes across on the television set.
Absolutely.
Or radio. Or then a bunch of people just say, girl, you know.
Or they're going to find themselves in a similar situation, what would happen with you and them, and then they're going to look back and, this is what this girl was talking about. Or I understand why she did this now. I want to be like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's just like a ripple effect, you know?
Yeah.
That's how you raise consciousness. That's what it's all about.
That's what it's all about.
Literally. Ascension.
So have you ever felt like, have you ever had like a moment like that within your spirituality, like one of these moments that, I call it pink clouds, where you either
be the bigger person?
Yeah. Will be a bigger person, but more so like, have you ever had an experience, like a spiritual experience, whether it be through meditation, where it was like your first time where you felt like love or like healing or something like that? Does that make sense?
It does make sense. No, there's just so goddamn many. You know what? I'm gonna use the story. I'm gonna use the story. Got my little bloodstone here. So when I first started out, your spiritual journey starts from when you were born. So I'm just going to say, at a point in my spiritual journey, I told you all I grew up in the church. Although I grew up in the church, I never really cared to be in the church, besides like the music and like the testimonies and stuff like that. I really enjoyed that part. But it led me to question, I just knew that, you know, the Bible, it's a nice book, but I don't live by it word for word like most people do. I don't live my life by the scripture. I'll say it that way. Yeah. And so it made me wonder about Jesus, you know, and is he real and is he not? And then, you know, all the controversy that's always in the media, like, is he black or is he white? And so, like, at a point, I had just stepped away from the church. Not necessarily like God. I didn't go atheist, but I knew there was more out here than just Christianity and church. So, I kind of strayed away from Jesus for a while. I didn't denounce him or anything, but I just didn't know. And I always said, if I come back around, that's fine. I come back around, like whatever, but I just didn't come back around. And then lovely Azor here, I had a contest from her, and I'm actually wearing my head wrap that I won from Guys on the Now Radio.
It looks gorgeous on you.
Thank you. And when she delivered the head wrap, she gave me a bloodstone, and bloodstone is said to have been formed when Jesus was at the cross, and like the dirt and his blood mixed, and you get like this green stone with like red streaks in it, which is supposed to represent Jesus's blood. And it really brought me back to Christ and Christ's consciousness. And me and Azor had a conversation after, and I kind of just explained to her what I explained to you guys. You know, I just didn't know. And almost instantly, like after we were done talking, like I was in my office at work and I just got overwhelmed. I mean, I lie to you not. I just started bawling, crying my eyes out, and it even got to a point where like I fell to my knees. You know what I'm saying? I did. And I just went into like a deep prayer, and it was just all about like Jesus and the love I have for Jesus and how he never left me and how he was still working with me, and you know, and how he understood that I just had to have that time to truly understand who he is and appreciate him. Right. You know what I'm saying? And like our bond is so much more closer now than what it was before, because I'm not restricted with all of the mess that comes along with the church and the know this and the know that, and Jesus is gonna be angry if you do this.
Yes, no. Jesus ain't thinking about you. I mean,
have my glass of wine and be fine. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can wear my mini skirt and be fine. Like, he still loves me. So it was just literally a coming back to Jesus moment, and I just want to thank you for that, because it's really empowered me on so many different levels of my spiritual work. Like having that Christ consciousness, it heals. It is a powerful healing like energy, and I'm very grateful to be able to channel that and work with it. You know?
Absolutely. And Jesus was a Reiki master.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. A lot of people don't know that about Reiki. They ask me all this. Is there witchcraft? Is it voodoo? No, Reiki came about because of Jesus Christ. Like,
talk about it.
Like literally. So the greatest Reiki master, the founder of it all, is Sensei Asui, and he was teaching. He was a spiritual teacher, and one of his students asked him, like, well, what about Jesus and Buddha? Like, how are they able to lay hands and just heal people and and Dr. Asui did not have the answer. He didn't have the answer, you know, and so it was one of those stories. He went up to an isolated mountain to meditate and try to get the answer from Christ, and from God, and God sent him the answer. And then, so when the meditation was over, it was very powerful. I'm not going to get into the details, we'll be here forever. But when the meditation was over, he got up and he tripped and he cut himself, and his legs started to bleed. But he was having this experience with tingling and heat in his hands. So something just guided him to put his hands on his legs, and then the scar just started to dissipate slowly but surely, and he had found his answer. And after he found his answer, he went to spread it in the East, and that's how it came about. And then Dr. Takata is a woman. She's the one who brought it to the West. She actually brought it to Hawaii, I believe. So, yeah, I mean, it stems from the Bible and Jesus. Laying hands, that's Reiki, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But one thing I want people to know is it's not my energy. It's never the practitioner's energy that they're using on you. It's divine energy.
Yes.
It's divine life force energy. So the person can't manipulate it, you know.
Yes.
So they can't manipulate it. They can't like hex you, anything like that. Only good can come from Reiki healing and energy healing. Only good, only good.
Oh, that's beautiful. Thank you
Yeah.
for sharing
You're
that, because a lot of
welcome.
people don't know that. So
Yeah,
thank you for sharing that.
of course.
When you are doing Reiki healing, do you sometimes, are you receiving the energy from the person that you're healing?
No,
Okay.
you're of course you do your own like little protection thing and you're dry brushing after, but no, you never receive, if you're intuitive now, you receive messages. Yeah, sometimes like people have had their own experience and visions while I'm giving them Reiki. That's been very healing. Sometimes I pick up on things and I see maybe a passed away grandmother standing over here or something like that. You know, like many things can come up in a Reiki session. But, you know, if you're not that kind of spiritual woo-woo person, I usually ask at the beginning. Sometimes I pick up on things. Would you like me to share them? Would you like me not to share them? And it goes from there, yeah. But I never get a person's energy, no.
Oh, that's good.
Completely protected.
Because some people do, especially if they're an empath.
Oh, I can pick up on it, but it's nothing that stays with me. So
Okay.
definitely when I'm giving Reiki, if somebody like has back issues, like for me personally, like I'll get it in my back. You know, they call that habiki.
Oh, okay.
Habiki. But for me, all I have to do, I just say, if this is not my pain, release it, and it goes away.
And it goes away. Okay, that's good, because they don't know what to do with that.
Right.
They're walking around like, wait a minute.
And that means they just ain't been trained well. So research who you going to out here. I'm serious. Research.
I have a headache now.
Exactly.
I'm smoking cigarettes.
None of that should happen.
You know,
None
like,
of
what is
that.
happening? I don't want to do it anymore.
None
I'm
of
like,
that should
no,
happen.
you need to
at
go.
all.
Yeah, you need to do some more research.
Exactly.
Because that's super important. Well, it's almost time for us to go.
Is it? What?
Yeah.
That was fast.
We have 20 more minutes left in the show. And we gave a lot of good information, you know, a lot of good information. And I hope you guys are able to receive it and process it. And I always say, let it swirl around in your head. But I'm going to put the spotlight on you. Yeah, but this is an easy spotlight. Because this is like a time where if you have a message for our audience, it's a time for you to share a message with them. So it's okay. I put you on the spot.
Oh, my goodness.
So I'm going to let you sit there.
Okay.
And let that swirl around in your head. You're an empath, so use your empathic gifts. Right?
Yeah.
Because there's someone out there that wants to, I can feel it. There's someone out there that wants to hear something special from you. Yeah, they do.
Oh,
They do.
man.
I'm going to start talking and it's going to come to you.
Okay.
Yes, that's how it works. I know, right? I'm a
my
little
goodness.
weird out.
So I'm gonna go, since our topic is love, sex and relationships and spirituality, I just feel like there's so much hurt on both sides of the spectrum. I hate to bring it to like the Black community, but I'm gonna narrow it down on there. all I ever hear is black men complaining about black women and
Oh,
black
God.
women complaining about black men. And it's just like, why don't we love each other? You know what I want to, yeah, you know? And I really just want to encourage people on both sides to kind of let go of that past hurt. You know what I'm saying? It's no longer serving you in any way, shape, or form, especially if you're out of the relationship. It is no longer serving you. Like, let that energy go before it manifests into something physical. I always say that any like physical ailment or illness or something, it starts off as spiritual. It starts off as spiritual, and it's something that hasn't been tended to. So over the time, you might get sick, you might get cancers, diabetes, hereditary stuff. All of that is generational curses, I think.
Yeah.
And nobody's been brave enough to break the cycle. So just let all of the negativity go. And when you're looking to get into a new relationship, don't base it off of the old. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't punish the new person because of something that the old person has done. That's not fair. And if you don't feel like you can do that you're mature enough to do that, stay your behind at home. Like, you don't need to be dating anybody right now. Take that time to heal. You know what I'm saying? Take that time to date yourself.
Yeah.
Especially for women, date yourself. Whatever you want from a man, if you want nice dinners, this and that, if you want flowers, buy yourself flowers. Take yourself out on that nice dinner. You're putting that into your energy field so it can come back to you. You know what I'm saying? And then once you're providing these like nice things for yourself, if some man, come along and try to take you to a $5.99 restaurant, you're gonna be like, hold up. No. Just because you have a penis does not mean I'm gonna go on this subpar date with you. It's okay to have standards. It is absolutely okay to have standards. And I think that's pretty much my message.
I think that's a good message.
Yeah, it's okay to have standards.
And I'm so glad you said that, because yesterday, I think it was sometime this week, on my Facebook timeline, this guy was talking about, he used the word, he said, come on ladies, you gotta teach your NIGGA.
That's not my job to teach you. Your mama should have taught you.
I ain't teaching no NIGGA nothing. What is this man talking about? And I had to get on my soapbox real quick. Like, I'm not teaching it. This is why I stay in my bubble. This is why I only date conscious men. And I went on forever.
Yeah, at this point, we're in our 20s, 30s. We're not teaching. I understand learning together and growing together and picking up where your partner may lack. But that's a whole different thing than teaching.
I'm not teaching you anything.
No.
I got kids.
Do you think that's like sort of the problem though with dating?
Like
it's like a lot of black men, they haven't been taught, so they look for their girlfriends to teach them and take care of them. And so do you blame the moms then? The black mothers for babying too much?
Yeah, I feel like if they're in their 20s, I feel like if they're older than 29, maybe I'll even push it and say 35. If they're 35 and older, then it's no longer the mother's responsibility. Like they have to learn how to, our men and our women have to learn how to go within and heal that stuff and teach themselves.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like if they never seen a positive relationship,
they just don't know,
but they can teach themselves. They can go on Pinterest. Like even me, like
you can watch a movie.
Right. I have like dorky stuff on Pinterest just so I can be exposed to positive relationships called love.
Right.
And it's just pictures of couples. You know what I mean? Because around me I'm seeing couples argue and fuss and fight and not being loyal and stuff like that all the time. So I have to show myself images.
Right.
The subconscious relates to images, not words. So I have to show my subconscious positive images. And you're right. Watch a love movie.
Right.
Take yourself out so you can know what a good date feels like. You know what I mean? So we definitely should be doing that. You are so right. And we got into a huge. It was like his thread was so long because the women were going off, and he was like, "This is what's wrong." And what interested me about him is when he said this one thing, which was, "Oh my God, with women, all it takes is that one bad guy." And I was like, "What? Are you serious? Where have you been living?" With women, it takes several bad guys before we begin to give up on you guys.
Exactly.
Now,
women are a lot stronger emotionally in dating than men.
Yeah.
Like, we get cheated on, lied to, we down for a minute, but then we back up. When a man really loves a woman and he get his heart broke, it's over.
That's it.
The whole universe is gonna burn down. You know what I'm saying? Like, they just cannot.
He will never love again.
Never, ever, ever. It's so ridiculous. It's so ridiculous.
When a man's fed up, you know what I mean?
It takes one time for the man. Us, we got a couple times. We got 9 lives.
Yeah, we got 9 lives. We're good, and we will still love you.
Exactly.
After all that healing that's done, we're like, you know what? I gotta actually heal this. Go inside and heal this. And actually, I have been searching for, and if anyone's out there watching, I have been searching for a male healer. There are not enough. You know, we have our female women healing groups, but I can't seem to find male healers.
They need to be healed.
They need
our
to be,
men.
I know. And they're coming at me like, yo, Azor, heal us. No.
You know what? Actually, I spoke with William about this last night, and this is coming to me from and I think we should do a men's healing circle.
I would love to do that.
I really think we should do it. I think it'll be great. I feel like men really need a comfortable space, black men, to just openly talk about like what they're feeling, you know, like in the relationship world, and for them to be heard and understood, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, it's not for us to like argue back and forth or anything like that. It's just for us to listen, absorb.
But do you think that can be led by a woman though? How do you feel about that? Because that's
up to the men. That's up to the men.
Good answer.
That's up to the men. I don't know. I always feel like it's good to. I was telling William, I felt like it would be good to have a woman there, so they are feeling like women here. They're, you know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Like they're heard. Maybe like, or maybe it could be like have a man to help us moderate or something like that.
Yeah.
But, I always let everybody know when they come in my space, like, you're safe.
No, yeah.
You're 100% safe.
Yeah.
Like, on the inside and the outside.
I think that's a great idea, and I think we should do that.
Me
We
too.
definitely should do that. I'm down for that. Well, my message for the people of the world, right, for our listeners in the universe and our earthlings, is never be afraid to be the best version of yourself.
Absolutely. That's a good one.
Don't be afraid to be the best version of yourself, whatever that may look like. Because if you're different and you're walking around this world and this planet, you're like, I'm different, don't look for outside things to, don't look for outside things to validate you. That validation should always come from within. So like, for example, if you feel like you want to wake up in the morning and you want to wear crazy pants, wear your crazy pants. If no one else outside in the outside world, if they don't like your crazy pants, who cares?
Yeah.
You
None
like
your business.
Yeah, you like your crazy pants. Wear your damn crazy pants.
Right.
And also, don't be afraid of being the best version of yourself, the authentic version of yourself, because when you're pretending to be someone else, that's when the jig is always up. Because you have to keep living that lie. And living that lie of being someone else is so exhausting.
You get caught up.
You get caught up living that lie of being a fake and a phony and a fraud. It's exhausting to be a fake and a phony and a fraud and living your life based off of someone else's standards. That's exhausting. But when you live your authentic self, when you are the authentic version of yourself, you're free.
Absolutely. No more hiding.
No more hiding. You walk around in the world. You walk around on this planet so light. You know, you're able to move any way you want to move. You can go any place you want to go. You can have those uncomfortable conversations because you are now comfortable with the authentic version of yourself. All of those things are super important. So don't be afraid. Don't fall into depression, because I remember like my son. Oh, I hope you're watching. I hope you're not watching. But skinny jeans. Remember when skinny jeans came out?
Oh my God.
Now I'm a thick girl. You saw Tizzy today,
Yes.
right? We not no little people. Okay.
Y'all got donkeys.
Yeah. Well, my son wanted to wear some skinny jeans. Well, I'm not talking about you. And I was like, baby, you still, maybe if we go up a size.
You should have been real. Now we're not doing that.
And I'm not talking about Tizzy, but this particular child came home and the skinny jeans was like ripped in the seats, and grandma was trying to heal the skinny jeans.
Oh my God.
She was literally trying to heal the skinny jeans, right? And make them work. But you got to be the authentic version of yourself, right? So the authentic version of my child is, I love these jeans. I don't care what anyone has to say about these jeans.
Man.
I want to wear them, and I will wear them. You know what I mean? He was dedicated to it, very dedicated, and that's all a part about being free.
Do you, little man? Do you, little man? Our opinions don't matter.
Yeah, that's all a part of being the authentic version of yourself. So, Lima Bean, is there anyone out there in the universe that you want to say hello to, that you want to shout out today that may be watching?
I want to shout out my mommy and daddy.
Oh, hey guys.
Edwin and Valerie Colby. I love them so much. Oh my gosh. They're just such an inspiration of like family, like how you want your family to structure to be, like an inspiration of how you want your love life to be. They are just great models to follow after. And then just especially my dad. He's a heart person. I feel like he works from the heart like me. But he's just so strong. You know what I'm saying? It's like no matter what my father is going through, his baby girls, his children, they come first, you know, and I really appreciate that. I'm about to get teary-eyed. I really, really appreciate that. And it really has made an impact, like a strong impact in my life. So I appreciate you, Mommy and Daddy. I'm gonna shout out my older sister. I know she's watching. Denotra, I love you, and my nieces, and
hi.
Yeah, all of my family, all of my loved ones. I just love all of you guys.
Oh, that's amazing. You can always tell when someone comes from a really great family structure or family because it just shows, it just oozes out. You know, that nurturing and all of that stuff, that comes from family. You know, and some people can make the decision to break family curses and it oozes out that way. Or some people carry on the tradition of love and nurturing, you know, that they were taught onto other people.
It's interesting you say that because I'm both. Like, my dad's side of the family, we're good, but my mother's side of the family, that's a different story. So I had to break some curses over there, you know what I'm saying? Literally.
Welcome to the land of cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs.
Exactly, but we good now, we good. It's all gravy.
I swear, I feel you, girl. I feel you. Well, that is all our time here on Goddess of the Nile Radio. Thank you so much for being here today.
Thank you for having me.
I love you dearly. The door is always open, so anytime you want to come on, I tell my friends that if there's, I don't watch the news. So if there's something going on in the world and you want to come on the show and you want to talk about it, or if there's something that you have going on, like maybe this male group.
Are we doing
whatever,
it?
when you
y'all come.
Yeah, when you're ready to do that, you can come on the show and we can talk about it. I always have an open door for you. You are an amazing person. Thank you for sharing your love and your light with me, your love and your light with our viewers and our listeners, and your love and your light with the world, okay? Aww. And thank you guys for supporting Goddess of the Nile Radio Show. We are in the process of building a healing center. The Bobby Ransom Healing Center, named after my mentor.
Congratulations!
Yes. We are in the process, but we need donations. So the building fund.
Give me the money.
Yeah, we need the money. We need the money, but the idea of it is to build a place where teenagers can go and people can go to receive healing. We're going to have a garden. We're going to have a stage so they can express themselves, a library with our story and not his story.
Absolutely.
We're going to have bathing houses so people can come in and take spiritual baths.
Absolutely.
We're going to have a place where they can come and purchase their herbs, and if they need some time to get away, they'll have some beds there and transitional housing and things like that.
Already done.
So doesn't that sound amazing?
Already done.
So if you guys would like to make a donation, donations are being received by lovenowradio@gmail.com. That's lovenowradio@gmail.com. So that's all the business out of the way. I want to say a special shout out to our sponsors. Shout out to Haru Heads. Lima Beans rocking her Haru head wrap. Yes, get into it if you're watching this on YouTube. Thank you so much for your time today. I am your host, Azor Netsurugaya. You can find me each and every Sunday live on the WinDC Radio app and YouTube channel. You can catch the replay on the WinDC Radio YouTube channel, or head on over to their Facebook channel to catch the replay if you missed a second of this amazing show. And that's all I gotta say. We're done. Have an amazing week. I love you guys. We're gonna head into a song, an amazing song by Rahima Delma is her name. She's an independent artist out of Jamaica. So enjoy the music, and I'll see you next week.
Have a great week, everyone. Peace.
It's a long, long way from love. But you never be alone. 'Cause I'm here for you, baby. Always to sing your melody back to my heart. Long, long day when you're gone. I can almost hear you saying